Well, let's try that. Hang on. Let's try that. No, that's Mike Ox. Let's try that. Hang on. Let's try that. No, that's Mike Ox. It's this one. So let's try that out and see if that's how that. I think this is working now.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
Yep. I got both.
now let's just make sure we don't have any kind of echo. Can you hear any echo?
Let's see. I'm gonna let them tell you because if I turn it on, I'm gonna hear echo automatically.
Do you do you guys hear any echo? No echo. Okay. Well, I guess we're
No
back
echo.
down. Somehow the
Yay!
it looks. Jesus Christ. We haven't had one of those in a long time. You know, it's episode 201, painting Odyssey, and apparently we're just going back to the beginning,
Yep.
where nothing works and everything's terrible.
I mean, based on what you named it, isn't that apropos?
It is a painting Odyssey. There's no two ways about it, ladies
Isn't
and
that sort of like
gentlemen.
the idea of the 2001? Is that you go back to the beginning?
Yes, exactly. Only this is 201, so it's like a discount version of it.
Yeah, yeah. We don't have all the money for all that.
How could we? How could we have all the money for that? Anyway, folks, um, yeah. So what ended up happening for those of you who want to be, at home podcasters, because with the COVID, why wouldn't you?
What else you got to do?
How this is not the golden age of podcasting is anybody's guess, but it's not. Um,
Because content. Hashtag content.
yeah, hashtag content is right. Turns out miniature games need places to play.
Fuck yeah.
Anyway, so what ended up happening was it looks as though Streamlabs OBS updated and went back to a default input for my mixer board input. So,
Yep.
so that did it, and that's why we couldn't hear anything. By the way, for those of you for Legionnaires, be careful. Anybody who's in the path of the hurricane, please be careful. Hurricanes are no joke, whether they be drawn by a Sharpie or not. You need to be very careful about that. And
That's
we want
that's
to.
old. I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's a call. That's a callback. It's fucking professional. Um. Anyway, so but we would be amiss, John. Up in the catbird seat, you know him, you love him. Mighty right hand of the podcast. Wind beneath my wings. 201 recorded episodes of the modern era. Mr. John Spencer.
Heyo. How's it going?
This is odd. Now I'm pointing in the wrong direction all of a sudden. It had been flipped for a while, so when I
Oh,
pointed in the right direction, it was fine.
it's all good.
Who understands any of this? It's like the world has gone to hell, and it has,
I mean,
and it has.
to quote REM, it's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine.
I feel fine enough. I mean, I've got my health. I've got good kids. I got a great woman. It could be worse. Could be worse.
Yeah.
At this point in the show, when you're facing the ennui and existential dread of life, it's time for a beverage update. So, on behalf of the Laird Company, that's right, they're the oldest makers of Applejack in the whole goddamn country. Might be the only one left. This is Applejack. It is 30% neutral grain spirits. It's not the bottled in bond stuff, but I'll tell you what, it's awful damn tasty. You get a nice little apple at the beginning of it. It's got a nice. It's not too burny. It's not too Biden. Oh, see what I did there?
Uh,
Um,
Waiting. I had something lined up, but you took it first. It's all good.
oh, sorry. It was just right there. I had to do it. Um,
Exactly.
40% alcohol by volume. Laird's Applejack was first made by William Laird in Monmouth, New Jersey. Is it made out of toxic waste? What is it? Around 1760, George Washington discovered this unique beverage, asked for and received the Laird family recipe. Otherwise, he was going to march on their. He was going to send the federal troops and introduce Applejack to the Virginia colony. Some of them lived, and this is delicious. It's a fine little brown liquor. What are you having?
If you remember that bottle of peach brandy I had,
Yes, peach brandy.
yeah, it's gone. So
Oh,
I am instead drinking a force blow.
ladies and gentlemen, you can't for a 201st episode. I feel like a force blow is completely apropos. So, for those of you in the path of Hurricane Laura, yeah, be careful. I hope that you've escaped in a very safe and socially distant way to someplace else. and that you'll be in good shape because we're thinking about you. Hey, Ron.
Run.
Now, I would also be remiss, John, if we didn't also start with a bit of a Ron for the people of Kenosha, Wisconsin. So for
Oh
those
yeah.
of you, for those of you who don't know, this podcast originates from about 6 miles north of where all the unrest is in Kenosha, and it's a terrible situation. Some of the most gruesome and frankly upsetting video I think I've ever seen in my life. Uh, I the gentleman who was shot 7 times looks to be paralyzed. The doctors are saying it'd be a miracle for him to ever walk again, and he was guilty of the sin of checking on his children. So clearly he had to die. And right now there are several landmarks, places I've shopped, places I've had food, and had wonderful memories are gone. They're just burned completely down or blown the fuck up. And not to mention the cost in human lives. And to the people who are burning and looting, stop it. To the people who are paid to protect and serve, fucking stop it. And for those people who are peacefully protesting this injustice, to them I say, Ron. Hey, Ron. You know what? I get the fact that sometimes you got to get a little rowdy when people are killing your people, because of no greater sin than the amount of melanin they have in their skin. That is bullshit. What took place in Kenosha, and they've identified who the clown ass was that did it, and they haven't made any arrests yet. But his time will come. There's enough cell phone video out there to show exactly what that fuckface did. That there will be no justice until he's picked up.
That one's bad enough that even police I know are going like, "Hey, what the fuck is that?"
You know what?
And that's crazy because those guys are they're out there all a little whack in the head. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not every one of them, but a lot of them are a little whack in the head.
Yep.
And they defend their brothers.
Yep.
And they got nothing on this. They got nothing.
It almost, from looking at the video, almost like his gun went off accidentally when he pulled on him, and then he just sealed the deal. I don't know what the hell happened. It's the most ridiculous video I've ever seen. Anyway, we are the podcast of positivity. Always have been. Always will be. So that is why we are here for the peaceful protesters. Black Lives Matter, and to the good people of Kenosha, it'd be better if you were from Racine. But for the good people of Kenosha, we lift our glasses again, of course, Ron. That's a double Ron, people. That's fucking rare. You don't get a double Ron too often. In fact, that might be the first in recorded history.
You'd have to go through quite a few to find out, though.
Oh, yeah. I tell you what, all you brush heads out there, you get there and you research that shit. Tonight, John, is another momentous occasion for our little Wednesday night extravaganza, once upon a time Sunday night extravaganza. This is the 100%ing of the War Machine and Hordes for me. And so I thought we would start off with a retrospective, John.
Oh, shit.
Wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't a retrospective be fucking awesome?
Wait. I think I know what you're going to bring out now that you said that. I got an idea.
Oh, well, perhaps you... Well, maybe, but it's not that funny, so we'll see. So
No, it depends. Does it involve the sidekick to a flying squirrel?
no. That would have been an excellent... That would have been an excellent... That would have been one... That would have been for the show, Alpha and Omega. This is the
fair.
War Machine and Hordes Alpha and Omega. Because I was painting poorly ahead of this show, ahead of Bullwinkle. So this is the first model I ever painted for War Machine and Hordes. He is a Crusader from the starter box back in the day that he's made out of some type of toxic metal, I'm sure, that probably is going to cause me to have at least 5 to 7 years shorter life.
No, man, it's pewter. It's fine.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, good. That was Last Will and Testament and all that shit. But I would bet, John, that there is, and this is, of course, the last model. This is the Hooch Hauler, and we'll go into more detail on that, obviously. I should turn on this light to give better. Oh, look at that. Look how much more light it is now. That's at least 75% more light. I'm also going blind.
we all are, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's quicker than I care to. So there's probably more paint on this model than is on this model by weight. There's at least like 65, 75 coats of white. Just because, shit, I got brush marks. Oh, shit, I got brush marks. Oh, shit. This is before I knew anything about diluting, paint. And everything was primed white.
Hey, on the bright side, you didn't use testers.
No. People, please. For the love of all that's sacred. So I watch a fair amount of 40K videos, and there's a wonderful channel, One Mind Syndicate. Love these guys. 2 guys, hardest working video producers in Warhammer, as far as I'm concerned, that aren't paid for it. And he showed a picture of some orcs that he painted, and the first thing he did is haul out testers paints, and I just about came through the internet. I actually reached out to him. Hey, my name's Menoth John. I've been running a painting show for a long-ass time. Love to help you if I can. First thing we got to do is dump them testers. But I'm more than happy to give you painting tips. We'll have you on the show, whatever you want to do. Hey, we got a new name in the Heckin' Chonker, which, great name.
So they are a heckin' chonker.
They're a heckin' chonker, and you know what? That's okay. We like all the chonks. So there you go. Run for heckin' chonker. Yeah, woohoo! Here's to you, buddy. So there's no shading. I don't think there's a wash on this. This is just like base coat and pray. I did get pretty fancy, though. I put a little bit of, I don't know if you can see, but I put a little bit of orange lines in the little mace. Ooh, that's fiery. Okay?
Hey!
I was going for it. I was breaking new ground. And then, of course, there's the star of tonight's show, the Hooch Hauler. It is finally done. And I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. It's... I really wanted this to be a showpiece, as I don't really play so much anymore, and I wanted this to I took my time on it. It was a test. This is an obnoxious model to paint. Yeah, I missed a spot. Go fuck yourself. There is so much detail in this model. It is ridiculous. And so much of the model is hard to see. If you play it on the tabletop, you'll never see it. But I really, in general, I like how it turned out. I did some experimentation with some different washes to get after like a painted leather kind of a feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, a lot of kids are heckin' chonkers when they're babies, so that's good. But I think this is some of the best pink cloaks I've ever done. I really went for a lot of contrast on them. They worked. I think they turned out very well. The bears are, I think, they're definitely a step up from my ambush bears. And I don't know. In general, I think it turned out pretty good. Now,
I think they're high quality.
I thank you very much for that. What is missing, however, is the last bit of kit that we're going to do on here. Telkazar, thank you very much for the wood. Let me talk about the wood for a second, because a lot of people are complimenting me on the wood, and I appreciate that, because I appreciate people who appreciate my wood. And the wood was a multi-step adventure in hell. So everything's hard and a pain in the ass, and this is one of the things that is. So it's a 3-step process to do this. I'm trying to find the right. So this is first. Good luck finding some of these paints, by the way. This is Minotaur's line of airbrush ready paints. Okay, and this one is called Rotten Wood. Okay, so it's a light beige kind of color, and that was the base coat. So essentially, the whole model was primed black, and then I came back and zenithal shaded, and then I came back with a very like a Morrow white, and I would go ahead and I sketched up the highlights. Okay, just like you do. If you want to do with the glazes and the thin paints, like you do. So the nice thing about the Minotaur line is that they're pre-thinned because they're expected to go through an airbrush. So the barrel was not airbrushed. The barrel was painted with a brush using airbrush paints. So light, thin coat of that. And I think you can go back in the episodes, and I don't know how far you have to go back, but probably like a month or so ago, you'll find me putting this layer on. Then came the contrast paints. And the contrast paint that I chose was snakebite leather. And snakebite leather it's a very nice, gives it a lot of this, like the warmth to the wood. And it's just a lovely little contrast paint. And as we've talked about on the show many times, John, the contrast paints, their strength is like an uber wash.
Yeah, it's in my opinion that is. You can paint a model in them like as an actual paint, but I don't think that's their best strength.
Exactly. And so I put a layer of that down, and I got to tell you, John, I was a little disappointed with the result of it. It was almost what I wanted. It was almost what I wanted. So what do you do when you have something that is almost the way you want it?
Keep fucking going.
Bitch, Agrax Earthshade.
Well, talent in the bottle works.
Yep. So it's not an excessive layer. I gave it the love of the brush, but I didn't give it, I just gave it the tip. And I put
so
some of
beefing it with just the tip?
Just the tip. And I went with Agrax Earthshade on there. Alternatively, folks, if you don't want to cop out and say, "Oh, I didn't use any Agrax Earthshade on here," may I suggest the Army Painter War Paints Strong Tone, which is almost Agrax, almost. It's Agrax / almost Devlin Mud. So, and I'd shank a guy for Devlin Mud. I was gonna put that out here. So, and you probably have some, but I wouldn't shank you, John. I wouldn't shank you. Never.
I don't have much.
No, So Strong Tone tastes a lot worse than Agrax. This is not a lie. This is a true statement of fact. The fact that we know the flavors of our paints says something about our technique. Anyway.
Yes.
So
Kathy Wapple would be upset.
Speaking of Kath, where the hell is she?
I don't know.
I feel I'm a little bit I don't want to say miffed. I'd say I have a certain ennui about her not being here because she brings a lot of energy. She brings a lot of positivity.
And that's the word of the day, everyone. Ennui.
Ennui. There you go. Anyway, so we haven't made a butt plug joke yet, but we'll get there. Don't worry about it, folks. We sold you the whole show, but you're only going to need the front of your seat. So
I'm busy trying to get the legs of this cricket together.
Oh shit, a cricket. That's a battle mech?
It's a knockoff battle mech. Yeah, it's one of the big ones. Like this is the Bull Shark, which anyone who plays BattleTech will know as the Marauder.
Ah.
Anyone who likes Robotech will know as an Officer's Battle Pod.
Aha.
I see to put the cannon on the back of it, but I'm not sure which one. But I'm working on the legs because they are multiple joints. So they go in here.
Yep.
And then this attaches to this thing.
Yep.
Attaches to the foot, and then you got to do two of them.
I'll be darned.
So what I will say is, blue tack. If you do not have blue tack, you are doing it wrong. Get the blue tack. You will need it.
You heard it here first. Okay, so folks, so here's the vision for this model. Was that this is the winter time, as it is, because it is a Northkin model, and that means we need snow. And I have been putting snow on my models for some time now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think most successfully to date, probably the Glacier King. That was one where I kind of I did the snow effect along with. I see you didn't make the rice tray holder. I'm not sure what that means. I think he was talking about maybe one of the battle mechs, but anyway. So the snow effect I did on that one was also combined with a water effect to create sort of this ice and snow at the shore kind of a thing. And so that's what we're going to do again here today, but we're not doing that. If you look at the base on this model, and I'll spin it around here before I get two more. I'm just cutting a little paper cup that I have here because it makes it a whole lot easier to deal with the artificial snow when you have a kind of a shallow cup. And let me tell you, I can fit into I can work with a shallow cup. All right, so on this side of the model, you'll see there's a fair amount of little branches and like cut off trees and things like that. And what my idea was here is that in my head, I imagine that this hooch hauler is kind of plowing through the early winter snow, and I want to leave tracks.
Oh, tracks are not the easiest, sir.
So we're gonna try this, and
no.
There's probably
do
gonna
or
be,
do not. There is no track.
I am going to put tracks in.
Goddamn right.
I'm
here for moral support tonight.
This is either going to be the biggest mistake I ever made with a model that took me 3 months to paint, or it's going to be fucking glorious.
It's going to be fucking glorious.
All right, so we're taking our glasses off for this one, John. You know I'm serious then.
Oh, yeah.
And we're also going to be putting on, you know it, you love it. You've seen it on the Republican National Committee, starring in a video by former Liberty University head Jerry Falwell Jr., the blue glove of love.
That's got a whole new connotation now.
Yes, it does.
Yikes.
Yeah, you call somebody a cuck, you better mean it now, because he's taking it to a whole new place. All right, so let's talk about artificial snow, because I feel like artificial snow is a subject that isn't talked about enough on this podcast. Well, or on any podcast. You know where you never see him talk about artificial snow? You never see it on Markiplier. He's got all those people that watch his shit. He never once talks about artificial snow. What the fuck?
That's true. I don't know. Seems like a weakness in his game.
You know, he's got all that money. Can't talk about artificial snow. So let's talk about artificial snow. Artificial snow is broken glass. Do not breathe this shit. Do not be like Don Jr. and snort a long line of this before you do the show. So what you do with this is, first you think long and hard about what you're going to do with it. Okay, so we have our model here, and what I want to do here is the bears have been trudging through the snow. I want to lay down snow so that it's coming around this log and along here, and I want to sell that as a more or less level bit of snow. Okay, when I come around here to the back, I'm going to lay a smooth layer down here in between the tracks, but then what I'm going to do is I am going to smush the snow up into tracks along the two sides, here and here, and then I'm going to lay the snow down on this side. Now, the thing about the snow is that it's not going to set immediately. So what I do have some time here to work with the snow to make sure that it looks right. Now, this is going to take a lot of concentration and a fair amount of profanity. So,
like most things that are difficult in life, concentration and profanity.
So we're going to take a big helping of broken glass. We're going to put that in the thing. You're careful not to breathe this shit. And
ideally, being safety conscious, you would wear your mask for this.
Yes. And I'm not wearing a mask. So
If you're careful, it's not one of those things that's super duper because it is somewhat dense. It's not quite as likely as, say, resin particles if you're sanding to get up in your fucking face. So,
holy crap! I've gotten that stuff up in my grill, and that is no bueno.
yeah, wear a mask. And ideally, if you're going to use resin and stuff like that a lot, get an actual full respirator. I know right now may not be the time to be looking for those, but put it on your list.
Yep, that's a good Christmas present if you can find
Uh,
one. Okay,
Luckily, I
so
bought one a while ago for dealing with black mold because black mold's no good either.
no, that's terrible for you. All right, so as you can see here, I'm mixing this all up together, and this got a little wet, so we're gonna have to add some more glass to it. But this is the opportunity to, so the it's realistic water is what this is. It's broken glass and water effect essentially, and actually this might not be too terrible because then I can sprinkle some on top. Let me put just a little bit more broken glass in here. You want it to be able to be workable. You don't want it to be like pasty because it's going to be a pain in the ass to get it smooth. So, guys, I got to tell you, I've only done this a handful of times. So, this is a bit of a journey of discovery for me, too. We're going to give this a hell of a try, though.
But you can't be scared of doing stuff like that, new stuff. You just got to go.
Yeah, you got to give her hell. You got to give her hell. Guys, it's just a fucking model. It's just a model. All
I
right,
ain't ever made a mistake on a model so bad I couldn't fix it somehow.
I hope I have enough broken glass.
Bad basing stuff scrapes off. You can redo it. I've done it. I've had to peel entire bases off because the glue was just the wrong consistency. So when it dried, it was literally like, oh look, you can peel the whole basing material off.
All right,
You know,
so
stuff happens.
indeed it does. All right, so I'm going to start on this side here. And we're just going to lay it down. And I'm thoroughly expecting to have to maybe repaint the base ring.
Yeah, you can be careful, but you know, you don't want to make that stop you from doing something cool. You know.
Yep.
What we got here? Oh, now I hope people play Trollbloods. Yeah, you know, I'm sure you can find some cheap on eBay. It is a buyer's market for right now for War Machine Hordes. Actually, honestly, if it's not GW right now, it's probably a buyer's market.
Hell, if you can find War Machine and Hordes, this shit's like gone.
Well, that just means that if other people want to get out of it, and I'm sure people will, it will be better eventually. You know, there'll be some money in it for them. I wouldn't get rid of all of my stuff, but if it's not a mercenary, it'd probably go on bye-byes.
So what I'm doing here, and I hope this is showing up on the camera a little bit, is now I'm going to push back this layer of snow back here so that it looks a little like it's been pushed back by the wheels. This might not get done tonight, John, to be honest with you, because I may not have enough broken glass to do this whole model.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a heck of a thing. I would focus on the parts that you need to do work on first. That way you can get that going, because that's going to be the hardest. You can fill in the gaps, you know, later.
Yep.
Does that need it? That needs it. Time to get some Blood Bowl Necromunda. Yeah, well, like, it's a weird thing, and I'll say this while he's busy. I didn't realize how much going to the game store every Friday night costs. Not because I had to spend money, but because I did spend money. Holy crap!
Yep.
I'm happy to just be buying what I want. I got one almost completed Marvel Crisis Protocol model, and then one more in the box. And I'm going to go nice and slow, even though there's a bunch of stuff out there I'd like to get. I ain't going nowhere. I'll get them when I get them. Like, I want to get Spider-Gwen and Miles Morales, obviously.
Fuck yeah.
And then, obviously, I want to get Thor. You know, there's a bunch of stuff out there, people that I want to get. But slowly but surely. You don't have to go all at once. It's the old mistake people used to make of must buy now, might go away forever. If it goes away forever, it goes away forever. You'd be okay.
So
We're in the area of 3D printing.
I did buy a Riot Quest model.
Oh, that's cool. They got some really cool and flavorful models.
It's the Leadfoot and Treads model. So it's a pig in a tank,
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
and I think it's going to be a gas. It arrives on Friday, so I am still going to be 100% on War Machine and Hordes. I just won't be 100% for Privateer line, which I wasn't going to be anyway because of Monpok.
Monpok, yeah. All right, well, this thing's coming along. I'll be done with this shortly. The Cricket, a.k.a. Locust.
I'm pretty happy with how this is turning out, to be honest with you.
Well, Legionnaire says his game store expenses have gone up. He wants him to survive. I understand that. Actually, I want mine to survive. Mine's in pretty good shape, but, it's... I'm not going to buy stuff just to have a pile of shame. I've done that. I still have a pile of shame. I could put together Malifaux models for the rest of the year, and it wouldn't affect me, but,
John,
just trying to control it.
John, we are going to dump the rest of this broken glass in here because I can find a home for it.
There you go. It actually looks like it's coming along pretty well, too.
I'm pretty thrilled with it, to be honest.
Good.
Oh, fuck. Don't stir it too fast, by the way, folks.
And make sure when you're doing it all like that and you don't have any backup, be careful when adding water because you don't want to get too far. If you get too much water, you don't have any more glass to add in.
Yep, there's always adding more glass. There's no... you can't take the resin back out. Now this is still a little pasty. So I'll just add a little bit.
So John, these Battletech models are so big they won't fit on a Games Workshop 50 mil base.
No shit.
They just hang over. So I'm going to find something else. Because you can't have models like this without bases. I mean, they stand pretty well, but bases.
Bases, man. You should find
I'd say
something
hex
with a lot
squares,
of,
but
you should find
go ahead.
something with a lot of rocks and stuff on it.
Rocks or
Debris.
big city streets could work. I know what you're trying to do, but it's not going.
I'm baiting you. Shut
No,
up!
it's not
I'm
going. Because honestly, they can fight in rocky area. Most of them wouldn't fight in cities and all because, I mean, there's no room in cities for battlemechs to go around and shoot people, or won't be a city for long.
Indeed. A lot of time mixing this one up. This is a big batch of snow.
That means you're committed now.
Oh, I am absolutely committed.
Let's decide what do I want for this guy. Do I want to put the machine guns on, the little rocket launchers, or the lasers? I think in the machine guns, they are the most iconic and they look really cool.
All right, so this is like the consistency I'm looking for on the snow is like toothpaste, kind of. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put some of this down on here. I got to figure out exactly how to get this in here because we're going to use the small part of the tool now to get right exactly where we want it.
Oh, Zombie Dude goes, I know we're seeing isn't Kenosha, but everything okay there?
Yeah, we're cool. Thanks a lot, Zombie Dude. I appreciate it. And thanks for showing up to the stream, buddy. It's been far too long, my friend. This is Jeremy, for those of you who don't know it. Appreciate you tuning in, Jeremy. I know you got a lot on your plate, too. Miss you, brother. All right, so pretty happy here. Oh, this is turning out beautiful.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, Jeremy, the unrest is... It's not in Racine, but Kenosha's real close. You know what? This might actually be a little stiff yet. We'll see.
First wood, now it's a little stiff. I mean, come on, man. Are you trying to make it too easy for him?
I'm just throwing up softballs. Still continuing to throw up softballs, even with that.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm tell you what I'm going to do, John. I'm a sneaky fight. I'm going to switch to my painting cam so I can show this guy off.
Fuck yeah, baby.
I guess people may forget I actually have a painting cam.
See? Don't count out the co-host with the most.
Oh.
There you are.
All right.
Nice.
There you are. Nice.
Oh, I'm getting some echo off your microphone. Is there a microphone to switch?
It shouldn't have switched microphones.
Oh, maybe it's better now. I'm not hearing it anymore.
Oh, strange. Might have been a one. I might have turned on the microphone for a split second, then realized I didn't want it to.
Got it.
So there is me. Trying to get him. Let me get him in. Get a screen up here so I can see what I. I'm trying to see my screen. So there we go. I decided to go with the machine guns. I got them pointed down a little bit like he's shooting at infantry because it's cool. I can do a little more cleaning on the front of these, but no, I came together pretty well. Obviously, the back where it's all molded in, where you take it off the sprue and all, is a little rough, but that's okay. I don't expect perfect from some resin models like this. Unfortunately, they're not making any more of this scale. They're discontinuing this scale because it's just not worth it for them money-wise. I understand. I mean, it's not standard scale. These are obviously these are standard BattleTech models, and this one should be taller than this guy, and here he is much tinier. So, because I understand where they're coming from, but I like it. They came with extra parts. I'll have to see what their regular scale guys are. And while I'm showing off, switch them out, and here's the bull shark. I did a little work on his arm because when I put them together, they didn't match up quite right. So he's got big, chunky feet.
Jasikex, thank you for tuning back in. We appreciate you.
And then I got 2 gun choices, an autocannon or a Gauss for the bull shark. Sort of hemming and hawing over what I want. We'll see. So there is that, and we will switch back to the wonderful face cam. Facing us.
Jasuex had said that it'd been long. He had missed watching us. We'd missed having you on in the chat room, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. I was on a 3D printer. A lot of cool stuff in your 3D printer. I know my roomie wants to get one, but financially not really work for us, especially not with so many of our friends having them. When things calm down, we'll just be like, hey, so-and-so, can you print this out? We will give you some cash monies.
Yep. Sometimes that's there's a lot of companies that decide that renting technology is better than owning it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me get a bag for the extra parts. Where will I find an extra bag? See if I find the right size bag.
This is still a little stiff.
Perfect. So, extra bits, because bits is bits. You never know when you might need them.
I always need a bit.
And then, I got one more to go after this, too. I got the Firebird, or Phoenix Hawk, if you prefer. Or Super Veritech, if you prefer. Because copyright laws! That's all. I unfortunately could not get the Kriegshammer, or Warhammer, or Destroy Tomahawk, depending on what you want to call it. Because they were sold out, since they're not going to make any more molds for them, I will never have it. I'm a little sad, but I'll be okay. There's this guy. Just pulling out the bits. What I like most is, like, some of these, they don't need to have extra parts, but they do. Like, this guy's got 2 head variants, which is cool. Just have to decide which one I want.
I'm not sure how much more snow I need to actually put on this model.
You may have gone a little hog wild.
No, I think I may be right where I need to be. Because I think this sells snow better. I'm going to put a little bit of snow right here on this. This wheel needs to get a little snow because I need to hide an imperfection in the model.
Ah, there's the sneakiness. You got to do that, guys. You got to look at that. Use basing stuff to hide little imperfections. Like if someone's got a little peg, like this guy. Wish I had my other camera up. This guy's got a little heels thing to keep him flat on the base. When you're doing stuff, just make that some sort of tall grass, really tall grass in that case, like cornfield type stuff, and you can hide that real quick.
So yeah, let me tell a little story about that bit there that I just did. I'm going to turn around here to the, and I'm going to end up wasting some of this snow effect. But if I find the need to do a snow effect in the future, I'll just Secret Weapons Miniatures. I'll happily give them some more money.
Oh yeah,
Um,
they're good stuff.
so on this front wheel, let me get this bottle of water effect out of the way. On this front wheel, let me tell you about what a pain in the ass landing this model on a base is, especially this kind of scenic base, because it's got logs and stuff in just the wrong spots. I mean, absolutely the wrong spots. By the way, this resin sets up way faster than I thought it would. And so I ended up with one wheel kind of in the air, shaking it like it just didn't care. And maybe snow between where the treads didn't catch the snow. Well, that's what I was trying to accomplish. If you look at the rear here, you can see that I've got tracks where the treads caught it, and then I didn't want this to be like a heavy snowstorm kind of a thing. I just wanted it was snow covered ground kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I think this sells it, Josex. I appreciate the comment though, but this is, and then I have a little bit of snow attached to the tread to show kind of like where it was lifting it up. So I hope that, and when you compress snow, it will sometimes go away and just become mud. And the treads here have been weathered and show a little bit of muddiness to them from some painting that I did. So that's, I think I'm in a good place with it. I appreciate the input. So in this case, landing that fourth wheel was just not possible. And so what I just did on this model is I came in here and I just built it up around that hole, that wheel. And it's maybe a tiny little bit hard to see. Maybe if I lift up the model a little bit, it'll be a bit easier to see. But I basically built the snow around it like it's trudging through the snow, and it's pushed up. Now, where maybe I could put a little bit more snow is underneath that bear's foot. Is right there.
The front one?
Yep, the front one. That could use a little
the
bit.
Rear, yeah.
Yep, that could use a little bit. So let me get out. I'm going to use the broad. Oh, it's in the water. Okay. I'm going to use my
Yeah, and you can actually even put a little more under where the bears are, because it wouldn't have been totally crushed out of the way yet, because the wheels are there.
And that was absolutely part of the plan in my head. So we're going to put that down there. I'm going to try and turn this so y'all can watch what I'm doing. And we're going to wipe off this excess here. And then we're going to come in with this wide dental tool. And we're going to smoosh it down because it should still be pretty flat because it hasn't been, stepped on by anything. So I think that sells it pretty good. This one's got like a log underneath it, so I don't think it needs a lot there. Now, what I could do is build up some of these snows around some of the logs in like a drifting pattern. And kind of come in here like this, and then kind of push it forward. Gonna need a smaller tool for that, so let's go ahead and let's get this little more accurate tool in here, and we're gonna just kind of give it a little bit of smoothing out. Yeah, I'm not sure about it. That didn't turn out so good, so we're just gonna come back in here and smooth this out a little bit and wrap it around a tiny bit. And I tore it a little bit there, so we're just going to take a little extra snow onto the tool. We'll just smooch it in there. Yeah, I like that. That turned out just how I imagined it. So now we got a little bit of a drifting going on right there, which I think is a nice touch. And we'll smooth that out. Because there's one thing I see a lot of in Wisconsin, it's drifted snow. And so you know what, John, I think that this suffers from good enough at this point. I think this is where it needs to be. I think if I go a ton more with it, I'll regret it.
Remember, you can always come back later and add more. It's harder to take away.
Right, but I did spend a fair amount of time getting that base color down on the ground. So I don't want to hide all of it. But I think this fulfills what my desires were for the model. So, ladies and gentlemen, done. I think that we're going to end up wasting a fair amount of snow. I feel a little bit bad about that. But we'll toss a couple bones towards Secret Weapons miniatures, get a little extra there. And I'm done with War Machine and Hordes models. How about that? That's a happy time.
Absolutely.
So on behalf of the War Machine and Hordes sculptors, and I'm going to put this up on the face cam real quick, and the sculptors and the conceptual artists and everybody, thank you for God, a lot of years of painting joy. Thank you. Ron. I wish the game was in a different spot.
Well, we'll see what happens after the world gets out of the crazy spot it's in.
Yeah, I mean, I look forward to playing some tabletop games again for sure. I know that as long as I got something called a Travis Marg in my area, I can always get a game in.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe they've got some plans. They're just waiting until everything normalizes a little bit before they decide to reveal them. Because there's no point in revealing them. We're all here. People just pick them apart. Let people be able to get out there and look at what you're doing and experience it firsthand before you drop some craziness on them.
Is this a bad time to know there's a new unit, Solo, and Casper coming out for Trolls? Yes, I am aware. I am interested for sure in Gunny 2, because I think Gunny has always been that caster in the War Machine and Hordes line that I'm just like, God damn it, can't get this guy to work, and as much as I want to, I can't make it work. But I did see that the unit is a 3-person unit, if I remember right, which that to me is doable. That I would be interested in painting it just because I so enjoy painting trolls. It's super fun for me, and a solo is always in play. That's why I'm getting the Leadfoot and Treads. Is that and I think that there's another model that's also a tank that's a Riot Quest model that plays for War Machine and Hordes, of course. That is another tank, and I guess Leadfoot and Treads make it better. But it's just so flavorful, and I think it'll be great. And, if I really wanted to, I got plenty of tanks with Rivet Wars. But if I want to, like, the pig tank, if I want to, like, proxy something,
oh, yeah,
I can make that shit work. So, folks, we actually have a decision to make on tonight's show. Out with the old, in with the new. And I'm going to put old right over here because I don't want him to stray too far. So let's go back to the painting cam for a second because I think that's important. So we have some choices to make. Deathmatch time. Is it Monpak or Nemesis? Nemesis is the Nemesis models that I have are I purchased the Sundrop edition, so they have been primed and and beefed, and I'm not sure how they beefed on these things, like they had to beef a lot of them. So there's a lot of beef on these, and they're beautiful models. If you've not seen them for Nemesis, hands down my favorite board game. Can we get a close up? Yeah, absolutely. So this is. Let me see if I can get it to work with the focus, and I'll try to do a beauty spin here. And this is an adult. Okay, so there are juveniles, there are creepers, there are adults, there are breeders, and there's the queen. Okay. By the way, folks, if you have Nemesis and play Nemesis, there is now a Nemesis app, companion app, that takes care of like most of the cards, and they're in the process of continuing to build onto the app to basically they're going to replace all the cards in fiddly bits with an app, and that is going to make that game so much easier to get to the table because it's a fiddly mother effort to get to the table. So what I was thinking here was I could probably do some additional painting on this, maybe do some highlighting, do some additional colors. That's a thought. Or the Planet Eaters, and this is I've got a fair amount of Monpok to paint. I've got World Eaters. I've got Lords of Cthulhu. I've got some Shield, and I have is it Shield or is it Guard? Guard.
Got to be guard because with
Guard.
shield that would
is
be a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah, no bueno. And pterosaurs. And so I got a fair amount to keep us busy there. The color scheme for the Planet Eaters, which are not to be confused with World Eaters, is this. So
If they're world eaters, they'd be blue and white.
exactly. If they're World Eaters, there'd be another lawsuit. The fatty bits would be purplish, and then the carapaces would be basically this is not a whole lot more than a zenithal shade with some Nolan oil put on it. So, which game are you playing with your kids? Yes, both. Which one gets to the table more frequently? Nemesis. And
I would do Nemesis then.
yeah, so Nemesis is actually harder for me to figure out what the fuck to do with.
That's good. It's a challenge.
So, I mean, there you go, folks. There's the choice. I mean, I can see where the co-host is.
Also, I would say that the wise choice would be to paint some Nemesis, then paint some Monpok while you're sorting shit out. Let yourself, I know what I'm painting. Let me get that whole going, recharge the creative juices, and then dive back in.
Yep, exactly. There you go. I don't know what the hell was crawling on me just now, but that's gross. We're gonna kill that from orbit. It almost looks like a wormish thing. I don't know what that's all about.
Oh, 2020, the worms.
God damn it. Are we getting invaded with that too? Okay, so the beauty of the Nemesis models is that along with all of this is the heroes. So the heroes that you play are actually really well detailed little models that are the individual, like there's the captain, there's an engineer, there's all kinds of cool stuff. So along with doing maybe some of these kind of guys, and I'll start probably with the queen because it's a hero piece, and then I'll do a crew member, and then maybe I'll do a Monpox, and then I'll do a different crew member, then I'll do a different like maybe maybe I'll like speed paint some of the juveniles and stuff like that. So we'll go between the games and work towards it.
Yeah, a little variety.
And maybe if I wanted to feel, maybe if I'm feeling a little chibi, I could do a Rivet Wars model because I still have a whole shit ton of those. So
absolutely.
So Leadfoot and Treads are going to get their way to the painting table probably relatively quickly once it gets here, just because that model, I've been itching to paint that model so hard, and I'm looking forward to it. But that's what you can look forward to here on Painting with Menoth John as we move into these 300 episodes of Painting with Menoth John.
Wow, that's crazy to think about.
Yeah, I know. We've been at this for a while, haven't we, pal?
Yeah, we have.
So, and thanks to all the brush heads. I mean, couldn't have done it without the motivation of the brush heads. You guys are amazing. I hope that you continue to stay with us. Tell your friends that we have a podcast of positivity and sometimes liberal politics, and that we welcome all, we love all, as long as there's love in the hearts of those that come. So that's what we demand. If we're going to love all and serve all, that those that come also are willing to love and accept. So, Yeah, that's a good feeling, man. That's a good feeling. So, folks, at this time of the show, as you'll remember, as you are want to remember if you are a regular of the Wednesday Night Extravaganza, that this is when we would be putting out the media section, as we are wanting to do. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to transition over to the media section. This is where the co-host with the most brings us the wit and wisdom that is uniquely his experiences in the media world, and I share the bullshit that I watch from a week-to-week basis, too.
Well, even with 2 weeks, I don't want to talk about because I may have played a couple games of MechWarrior Online during these 2 weeks.
Do you know what? When you're fighting back the existential dread of 2020, you have to do life like you got to do it.
Well, I'm going to say, John, that from Sunday to Monday, hold on, let me flip. I'm keeping track now, dog. I want to sort of get an idea how I'm doing. From the 17th to the 23rd of August, I played 73 matches.
Wow, you're getting. Hold, wait a second. That's some shit right there. Because that's.
Yeah. Well, the important news is I actually got a unit that actually invited me to join, so I've got a bunch of crew to play with frequently, and it's a good time.
Excellent. Well, they recognized a quality team member in you.
They recognized a crazy person, more likely, but to give you an idea how well those games went, and it was not well. And this is arbitrary because it sort of keeps track of how you do compared to the average person on your team. You know, it goes, you get an up arrow, you get an equals area, down arrow. That's sort of your skill level to make sure you keep getting games against people who are closer to your skill level.
Right. Makes sense. It's like a ranking system.
Yeah. And they make it visible so you can see it. I got 19 up arrows, 8 equals arrows, and 46 down arrows.
Oh, John, that's a problem. Yeah, because I know you're a team player, man. You bring it for the support angle.
Well, the team stuff doesn't always get the match score, as they call it.
Yeah, but I bet you your guild or your group there appreciates what you bring to the party.
Oh, absolutely. They're great. I love it. I just thought it was funny to play a ton of games, and part of it was I was playing a new mech called the Black Knight, and it has shit hard points. I mean, it's got lots of laser weapons, but they're all really low, so it takes a lot to get used to. And I was playing it a bit wrong, and the build wasn't ideal. So I chatted with some of the very high tier players because they're more than happy to chat with everyone, which I love about them. And they're like, "Hey, here's a good idea. You should do this. Here's what we're doing, and make sure you're playing it this way rather than this way." They made a lot of really good points, changed up what I was doing, and immediately saw an improvement with that. So.
Oh, fantastic. That's great news, man.
Because this week is looking up, but I've only played, 15 games this week. That would be Monday and Tuesday.
Well, you know, it's good to have a hobby.
Yes. Movies. Oh, I didn't actually watch, I watched some movies, but I want to talk about what I watched instead as my palate cleanser after the last season of Clone Wars I watched.
Fair enough. You just completed season 3, correct?
Yes, just completed season 3. Going to start season 4 tomorrow.
You and I are in the same spot right now. I've caught back up to you.
Cool. And judging by what everyone says, the quality should get better, and I should be able to get through these quicker.
Oh God, yeah.
Because let's be honest, season 1, 2, and 3 quality is everywhere, and sometimes you're like, "Yeah, I want to watch second episode." Some of you are like, No, sir. I'm good, thanks.
Fair enough.
I watched something that actually is easy to watch second episode in a row, even if it's longer, and that is season 2 of Amazon's Jack Ryan series.
Okay. Oh yeah, tell me about that.
So I watched season 1 way back, and it was very good. I enjoyed the crap out of it. I've always been a Jack Ryan fan. It's one of the first adult book series I read with my mom.
That's Tom Clancy, correct?
Yeah, Tom Clancy, yeah. Hunt for Red October. Right. Red Storm Rising actually doesn't have Jack Ryan in it, but it's the same universe.
Yep, got it.
And all that. And obviously there's been a ton of movies of varying qualities. You got the Alec Baldwin one, pretty good. You got the Harrison Ford ones, both pretty good. You got the Ben Affleck one, solid. And I haven't seen the most recent one with the guy who plays Captain Kirk.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
One of the Chris's.
Yeah, Chris. Fuck. No, his last
Pine.
name is not Fuck. Pine, yeah.
Chris Pine, yes.
Asking me for names is going down a rabbit hole you don't want any part of.
but this is actually John Krasinski stars as Jack Ryan, and it starts off. It's sort of it's a reboot entirely of it. Doesn't It's all new. The first season was very good. I very much liked how it went. The second season continues on. It's a couple more tropes and a couple points you're like, really? But overall, still very solid. The action's all very in the realistic area. People's reactions are fairly realistic. Um, you enjoy most of the characters you're supposed to enjoy. You want the villains to die a horrible screaming death,
Yep.
which you may or may not get to see. Being sort of, it's a modern sort of spy techno thriller type. Um, I do like the Jack Ryan character because he's got that perfect background where when he does stuff, it makes sense. Sure, he's a desk analyst and all that doing stuff, so understands he can reason his way through stuff. But then he's also an ex-Marine, so when he picks up a rifle and starts shooting pretty well,
retired Marine. There are no ex-Marines.
Well, I think it's a medical retirement because he got messed up.
I'm just joking.
That's fair. He's a Marine. How about that?
There's nobody that has any military background and watches this show. I've alienated everyone. So,
but yes, fair. He's a Marine. So when he picks up a rifle and starts shooting people, you're like, well, that makes sense. He's a Marine.
Yep.
He's trained. So I very much enjoy it. And this next one's a very interesting sort of political techno thriller. Interesting to see how all the pieces to start. You're like, how are they going to fit together? You're like, they actually fit together really well, and it's not like a stretch at all.
Cool.
So I enjoyed the crap out of it. I would say maybe.
Out of it.
Yeah, I enjoyed the cracking out of it. I would say maybe a shot of Kraken you might want through it.
Cool.
Just because there's a couple points you're like, why did you? Okay, I understand you need to keep the story going, but why did this happen? There's just a couple points like that need a shot of Kraken for.
Fair enough. Well, excellent. I have a series that I've been watching, also on Amazon Prime, that Belinda Librarian tuned me into, and I have to say that it really hits me where it hits all the buttons I need in a show. It's an adventure show. I care about it's hard for me in a lot of modern series that if everyone has got problems, if there's just bad guys, there's no, there are flawed individuals, but I root for them.
Yes.
This is Umbrella Academy.
Okay.
And I'm not done with season 1 yet. I'm 3 episodes left in the season, and I love this show. The Umbrella Academy is, for those of you who have not seen it, essentially is the story of a number of children who were all born at the same time, and they are collected together by an eccentric millionaire, and they all have powers of different types and different degrees, and it follows through this. And I don't think it's a spoiler, in that one of them basically is capable of time and space travel. So he can displace through space, and he discovers he can travel through time. And he gets stuck in the future that is after an apocalypse has taken place. Oh. And the main thrust of this is he finally fights his way back to just before when the apocalypse is to take place, and he's trying to right things in the timeline in order to save the universe. Yeah. No, 2021, I think you're being a little generous. I'm thinking more like November 30th. But anyway, I have to tell you, I care about each of the There's wonderful acting. There's a character. It's Cha-Cha and God, I have a mental block for it. They're like hitmen from the future, and it's amazing. It's really, really well done. I don't want to give away anything because I don't want to. I highly recommend watching this. Hazel, thank you. Hazel and Cha-Cha. Cha-Cha is played by Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige is a fine actress. She is a fine actress. this is a perfect role for her. And I highly encourage, if you've got the Amazons, and frankly, what? You don't have the Amazons?
Yeah.
Then find it and watch it. They're just starting season 2, or the season 2's out. Really love it. Highly recommend it. One Shot of Kraken, because it's an adventure show. Yeah. Is it Netflix? God damn it. Maybe it's Netflix. It's Netflix. You're right. Thank you,
Might be the
Legionnaires.
Netflix.
Yeah, it's Netflix. So watch it.
I mean-
You don't have Netflix? I mean, what? You
I mean-
you don't want to pay $12 for every shitty movie that's ever been released? Come on. Netflix is getting harder to justify on a day-by-day basis. But
What does Netflix have that I have to watch? I mean, it used to be Altered Carbon, but they canceled it after season 2. I haven't seen season.
Umbrella Academy and then cancel. So
Think of what else I would watch on Netflix that justifies it.
Witcher says Legionnaires. I'm not sure that
I
justifies it.
I haven't seen The Witcher. I don't have a horse in that particular race. Oh, you know what justifies it? Banyan pays for it. I don't have to pay for it.
There you go. And the occasional Stranger Things.
Oh, Stranger Things, yeah, absolutely. Thanks, John.
The occasional Stranger Things. And they better hurry the fuck up and get that show back out again. Anyway, so so there you have it. So I highly recommend it. Love Umbrella Academy. Thank you to Belinda Librarian for recommending it. We're at 10 people. We've been at a steady 9 or 10 people all night. That's fantastic for us. That's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about John? Is there anything else you needed to talk about as far as media, or I can continue to expound on different subjects?
Well, there's a whole slew of DC trailers and stuff we might want to talk about. I don't know if you've seen any of them.
Can we please talk about the Suicide Squad poster by the James Gunn version? I think DC's about to have a renaissance.
I would agree. There is a preview thing for that. It's very short, doesn't show a lot of movie shots. And then the official teaser is just everyone is in the movie. And that cast, and a lot of them are B-list or not really people who are, mainline actors really, like a John Cena is going to mainline a movie. But, man, it's stacked.
It's stacked and packed. I'm really, really excited to see a DC movie for the first time in forever.
And let's remember, I didn't hate the first Suicide Squad. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit.
No, me too. I enjoyed it too.
Did you see the extended version? The extended version, John, better, strictly better.
No, I don't think that I have, and where can I find that, by the way?
I don't know. It's on my Blu-ray copy.
Amazon, probably. So
it's on my Blu-ray copy. I bought it on Blu-ray one weekend, and I watched both back to back because I'm crazy.
Yeah. Mandalorian season 2 trailer because of how well the DC trailers landed. Well, don't let that stand in your way, Disney, because everybody is salivating for Mandalorian 2.
Yeah.
Fucking Ahsoka Tano, bitches.
Yep. But for the DC ones, I think James Gunn is the right guy to do that. I think they're going to get a lot of hype off of that. A heck of a cast. The Wonder Woman 1984 trailer. I mean, we were going to go see Wonder Woman 1984 as soon as we're safe anyways.
Yeah.
Then the Batman. Did you see the Batman trailer?
I did not see that one.
Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm not thinking it's going to be a piece of shit anymore. I'm like, this has got a good chance of being solid.
Legionnaires, I'm with you. Ahsoka's my favorite Star Wars character, hands down. Not even a competition, including the Mandalorian. Anyway, so so is in the Batman. Did you get the impression that they were taking it more detective style Batman, or action? I mean, action Batman.
They're going to play the detective part because it's obviously the Riddler as his enemy, but all of his scenes, he's just, the big scene, he's just beating the crap out of somebody because people have forgotten that Batman is the world's greatest detective. And he is detective first, ninja distant second.
Yeah, he's supposed to be a fucking detective. Yep. So. And
this is why, as I said on Twitter, Batman animated series Batman is best Batman.
Without question. That is, without there's not even a competition.
Yep.
That is the greatest of all Batmans. That show is so money. Anyway.
But it gave me hope that this is going to be a solid movie. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then there's a trailer for the Snyder cut of the Justice League. It basically has all those clips that you saw in teasers and all that didn't show up in the actual movie, with a little expansion on it. Shows Darkseid, and I'm like, okay, this might be interesting. I still think it's not going to be an improvement on Justice League, but as soon as it comes out, I'll watch it.
Sure. So I mean, there's hope.
Oh, and one more thing I saw while right before we started, actually. New Mutants is actually releasing in the theater.
Really?
This week. And they're not giving people reviewer passes to go see it in some safe method. They got to go sit in the theater if they want to see it. So you are not going to see a lot of reviews for the New Mutants. And I think that's calculated on Disney's thing, because this is something they got when they bought the Fox. They're not responsible for it. They don't fucking care about it. It's not going to provide some new series that they're going to spin off of. They're going to release it, make their money, and wash their hands of it.
What is the next Marvel universe, cinematic universe?
Whenever it comes out.
Whenever it comes out.
I mean, there are people who are saying that they might have to bite the bullet and release something video on demand. But I think not at this point. They're going to wait to see how Mulan does, because Mulan's getting shit on.
Fuck.
People are like, I got a streaming service and I got to pay $30 to watch a movie?
No. Mulan could die in a fire.
Let me defend the pricing structure for Disney releasing that. Remember, this is a movie they paid tons of money to get developed. It does not make sense for them to release it without getting money. And it's not like you're paying $30, you can watch it once. You pay $30, you watch as much as your little kids can want, as much as you need to. So is it a great price point? No. Is it a logical price point for the studio? Yes, because they're not going to get the same number of people as they would in the theater. And they have to, if they're going to release it, they got to try and get their money back somehow,
Honestly,
or it'll be straight a loss. And you can't put that much red in the ledger.
So you're a family of 4. You want to go see Mulan. Prices of tickets are $10 a head.
It's $30 right there. It's $30 right there.
You've got the you know what, John? You make a lot of sense.
It is sticker shock, and I understand. And is it the right thing to do? I don't know. But theaters, studios can't keep these movies bottled up. They got to release them, or they're not going to make any money when they release, because everyone's just going to release it's back to back to back to back to back.
Yeah, if it doesn't succeed and if they don't get a business model that works, we're just going to stop getting good movies.
Yep. We don't know what theaters are going to be like when COVID's done, and projections are looking like that 18 months. So we're looking at deep into 2021, son.
No shit. I mean, look at today. I mean, we had 1,300 more people pass away. There's an upsurge in. They're still pulling in huge amounts of new cases, despite what they're trying to do with hiding the testing and decreasing the testing, and they're still pulling big numbers. This is a big goddamn deal, and it's going to continue to be for some time. I mean, so for those of you waiting for some kind of announcement around John Con, it's been really, really hard for me to pull much energy together to do much with John Con this year. To be honest, there's never been a more important year to do John Con. I'm just really struggling to figure out what to do. I mean, it would have to be something along the lines of the all-day broadcast thing that nearly kills me every year that I try it. Self-inflicted gunshot wound. Hashtag. I know I'm still in talks with Dan and Rich and the team. Adam, by the way, lives back in Buffalo now. So there's a possibility there's some RPG action that could happen. Folks, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to promise you nothing. It would be fun to do some kind of an RPG. It'd be fun to do some kind of an all-day show. I'll be brutally honest. This show does not have the following it used to have. I'm not sure what we can actually accomplish, to be honest. But anyway, maybe we'll do something. We can earn a couple bucks for some people.
Yeah,
I feel bad for giving up on the people of Racine, just because of this, that, and the other thing.
Well, it's hard. I mean, this is not. It's hard to do all the things we love to do in person, which is the main reason why we love them. doing over the internet is really difficult.
Yep.
I mean, I dropped out of the role playing game I was doing online because it's just not the same. I would say I wasn't really enjoying it the same way.
Yeah. I've seen my son Charles, who loves to role play. There's the public library here is doing an online role play game, and he's like, yeah, no, I prefer to do it in person. And like,
Yeah,
I get that, son. I'm not going to force nothing down your neck.
yeah, it's the reality. But anyways, back to media section, John. That's all the trailers and stuff that I saw and all. You got more to talk about?
Um, I mean, I watched Godzilla 2000 this weekend with Charles and Jacob. You know,
Ironically released in 1999.
yeah, it sure is a Godzilla movie. Um, it is. You know, I think there are two golden ages of monster movies, and one of them is the late '60s, early '70s Toho original rubber suit Godzilla movies, and then Toho came back right at the turn of the century, right in the 2000s, and brought back the rubber suit Godzillas. And I'm going to tell you what, the new age Toho 1999, 2000, 2001 rubber suit Godzilla movies are as much fun as you can ask for. Now, when Shin Godzilla came out was it 2018?
That'd be 2016, something like that. Yeah, that area.
That is transcendent Godzilla. That is the culmination of the concept of Godzilla, because it is a political a satire movie, which is what every good Godzilla movie really should be.
Mm-hmm.
And they nail it right on the head. But the 2000 Shin Godzillas are not Shin Godzilla. The 2000 Toho Godzillas are really fun. They're just big rubber suit idiots beating the shit out of each other with slightly better special effects, and they're just fun. And I thought Godzilla 2000 there was like I can't remember what the bad guy was. It doesn't matter. It was a big rubber suit beating out another big rubber suit. Does it honestly matter? It was fun. Go out there and watch it. It's good times.
Well, let me just say, there's only one Godzilla movie you don't want to watch.
Son of Godzilla.
The U.S. Godzilla movie.
That's a terrible fucking movie. Actually, there's one worse, and there is a Godzilla movie from Japan that was the Godzilla Revenge of Godzilla or something like that, or Godzilla Raids Again. I think it was what it was. It was basically told as a flashback from a child, and it's mostly just Japanese parenting with a little bit of Godzilla going on, and it's the worst ever. Oh my god. So don't watch that, but watch Godzilla 2000. It's fun. Godzilla.
Watch all modern monster movies. Yeah, we got to bring them back. You got to watch the Godzillas in the theater, King of the Monsters, hell, both Pacific Rims if you can.
Yes, Legionnaires.
Especially the first one.
The Matthew Broderick Godzilla movie.
The Matthew Broderick with the eggs. Yeah, don't watch that. It's
terrible.
Not.
Fucking terrible.
Most movies, you walk out of the theater and you're like, yeah, that was okay. And then later you're like, no, it wasn't good. Me and my buddy Chaos Mike walked out of the theater. We're like, that was terrible. Let's just go get some good food and fucking forget this fucking thing.
The current Godzilla movie, the current generation, King of the Monsters, that one, those are good Godzilla movies. And frankly, those are good Godzilla models. That is Godzilla. He's got a slope. He's a badass. He's coming to kick your ass. That is a good bad Godzilla.
It's both monster and friend to humanity. It's more like, yeah, we both got to work together to take care of this motherfucker.
Yep.
But you remember, I'm the king.
If Godzilla was Samuel L. Jackson, that is the Godzilla in the current Godzilla. Is Samuel L. Jackson.
I really like King of the Monsters way more than I thought I was gonna. I was
super fun.
Very pleased, and a great soundtrack.
Super well done. Super well done.
I said multiple times the cover of Godzilla by Serge Tarkin and Bear McCreary is fucking great. It plays over the credits in the movie. It is just fucking great.
Yep, 100%. So I mean, those are some damn good. Get out
Oh.
there and watch a Godzilla movie. God damn it. So there
Yeah,
you
we
have it
did.
here from your buddy Menoth John and the best in the universe, Mr. John Spencer. Get out there and watch a goddamn Godzilla movie. I don't give a fuck what your background is.
Or any of them. Watch any of those monster movies. Shit, I got a whole fucking tapes of monster movies downstairs. I got to start watching more of.
You would be correct, Legionnaires. HBO Max has the Godzilla Kaiju license. You are correct.
There goes.
So,
Hashtag free time gone.
yep, absolutely. No, they're all over the place. So, but did I tell you a story about my neighbor that found our podcast?
Oh, the one that says we curse a little too much.
So that was one of them, and I apologized to my neighbor. So I'm sorry that I'm cursing so much, but it's Godzilla. How the fuck am I not supposed to talk about Godzilla without the F word?
Yeah, I mean, we use it for proper emphasis.
And so, it's to my neighbor across the street. I apologize. Remember, we are the podcast of positivity and fucking Godzilla. God damn it. So there you have it. John, we just did a show.
We did. It was a heck of a show.
It was a good show. I mean, I think our show for 200 was transcendent. Beefing became a thing. Now everybody's talking about it. You go to the War Machine and Hordes painting site, fucking people are beefing about this. They're beefing about that. They're beefing everything. They you know what you can do with a wash? You can beef a beef. That's meta. That's what they tell me.
It is.
The kids these days, they tell me about that. They say, that's meta. If you're beefing a beef, fuck. You don't even know what's going on. So anyway,
if you're beefing over beefing, man, holy crap.
do you know what I didn't do on this model right here? This is a vegetarian model. There's no beef. No beef on this model at all.
No beef at all.
Yeah.
We're correct in many, many ways, sir.
This model, all the beef. Where's the beef? Where's the beef? Right here, bitches. Right here. So on behalf of, I better start the music. All right, here we go. Music. All right. So folks, we come into your house once every 2 weeks. We're like that affair your husband's having. We come into the house every 2 weeks.
Wow.
We beef all over the place. So, on behalf of the greatest co-host that ever co-hosts the most, I'm Menoth John. I've had half a bottle of brown liquor. That can't be good. Jesus. We're done with War Machine and Hordes. Fuck them. Get a game, y'all. And we'll be back next week with Will it be Monpok? Will it be Nemesis? Will it be Leadfoot and Trends? Because Treads. Anyway, on behalf of the co-host with most, I'm Menoth John. You don't even know what you're getting from week to week on this show. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Where's the beef?
Where's the beef? Oh, we're dating ourselves. Where's the beef?
Oh, we crazy.